Hello, and thank you for joining us on this very special evening. Can you believe it? I'm your host, Alfonso. And tonight, you will be shocked, emotionally exhausted, and possibly even disturbed by what you're about to find out. It is going to be an overwhelming night, and a show you do not want to miss. But before we bring out our special guest, the theme tonight is appearance versus reality. Let us remember the life and death of a very public figure. It was in newspapers across the world, on magazines, and even on the backs of cereal boxes. Shakespeare even wrote a biography on this man's life. Paparazzi's dream. But was it all true? Now, we may remember exactly 1 year ago today, Prince Hamlet was killed in a sword fight. Or was he? After a year of silence, our special guest has finally decided to tell the truth to what happened. Please welcome the living, breathing Prince Hamlet!
Hello!
How are you doing? Take a seat. First off, what an honor to have you, Prince Hamlet.
Oh, it's great fun. Thank you for having me, and please do call me Hamlet.
What a ride you have been on. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's confused here. We all thought you were dead. How is it that you are still sitting here with us right now?
Well, it has been rough. Thus, it has not been easy.
Please, if you could explain, where have you been for the last year?
Well, I specifically came on this show because I wanted to finally tell the truth about what had happened. Yes, I did participate in a sword fighting tournament, which led to my death, or if you rather, my year off. I went to rehabilitation.
You went to rehab. Could you tell us why?
Well, there were many things in my life that contributed to my emotional health. For instance, my father was killed by my own uncle. I saw my father's ghost. My mother went on to practice incest with my uncle. I killed someone. I was with a girl who was sent to spy on me by her own father. And I watched my own mother die by drinking a cup of poison that was supposed to kill me. I had friends who weren't my friends, and I even went as far as pretending to be mad. I mean, how could any person handle all this without any help?
I do commend you for how you've handled things. I can see why you wanted to disappear for a while. I mean, you're not just a citizen of Denmark. You're the prince. It's not easy to get away. Now, is Shakespeare's biography in any way accurate?
Yes, he did a great job, and up until the bitter end. He promoted my death to make a better story, and to sell his work. However, this was only a scapegoat for me to finally get away and refocus on myself. He tricked you all into believing a lie.
And more from Prince Hamlet after the break.
Yeah.
And we're back on Can You Believe It? Now, let's get more on the theme tonight. Appearance versus reality. Obviously, the paparazzi, and mainly Shakespeare, made it appear that you had died. But the reality is, you're alive. And it was just a stunt to get away. I understand that you have had a lot of cases in your life that are similar.
Well, yes. First of all, when my father died, everyone assumed that it was due to a natural death. That was the appearance. But the reality is that he was poisoned by his own brother. I was determined to prove everyone the truth. I said, "Till then, sit still, my foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes." as well as the fact that Claudius would make a great king. However, the reality is that he's no king. He's a murderer.
And you said that you saw your father's ghost. Did other people see this ghost as well, or just you?
Yes, there were some people who had seen the ghost, but my mother thought I was mad. She could not see him. She merely thought I was talking to air. So I told her, "Seems, madame? Nay, it is, I know not seems."
What was the intention behind acting like you were mad?
Well, Shakespeare stated me in his biography when I said, "As I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on." This was when I decided to act mad. It was to cope with everything. I made people believe that I was crazy, but in fact the reality of it all was that I was pretending and using my madness as a tool to buy time in solving my father's death.
And about your girlfriend and her father, how do they fit into this?
She spied on me. There needs to be trust in a relationship. Her father, I remember in one conversation we had, Polonius states that he was an honest man. This is portrayed in Shakespeare's biography of me, I guess you could say in Act 2, Scene 2. He also asks me, I believe his words were, "What is the matter, my lord?" pretending to be concerned with my well-being. However, he is not honest, nor does he care, for he warned my girlfriend about me. He clearly did not approve and merely stalked me and sent his personal stalker, my girlfriend, to get answers.
Wow. Well, that is a lot to take in right now. So we're going to give you a couple of minutes to think about what's coming next. It is time for a commercial break, and thank you. And we're back on Can You Believe It? Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before you go, I have a special surprise. I have the main paparazzi here with us backstage. I'm sure you have a couple of words to say to him. This man has made a fortune on his biography of Hamlet. You. It is read in schools everywhere, especially St. Thomas Aquinas. Everyone, please welcome William Shakespeare. I sense some tension here. Thank you for joining us. Now I imagine, Hamlet, you have a few words to say to Mr. Shakespeare.
Why look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me? You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from the lowest note to the top of my compass. There is much music, yet you cannot make it speak.
Is there anything you would like to say to the world, Shakespeare? I mean, you did make us all believe a lie.
Well, yes, I must apologize. As paparazzi, we're pressured to get the winning story. And I might have gone a tad too far. I'm sorry. But also you must know, with celebrities now, not to believe everything you hear. Question everything, as a good journalist does.
Yes, well, I think we can all relate to believing things and finding out that they were not entirely true. For example, Brad and Angelina. How many times have they gotten divorced?
Well, that's another thing. Paparazzi look for the cheapest way in. We might have heard them raise their voices or saw Brad sharing a few words with the delightful Jennifer Aniston. This is quite enough for us to create a story, true or not. To be or not to be? That is the question.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our theme tonight, appearance versus reality, is clearly evident in our world today. And we must remember not to believe everything we read in the tabloids or seen on TV. It ties nicely with Shakespeare's false ending versus Hamlet's reality. I want to thank both of you. What an honor. And please join us next time on Can You Believe It? And we're off. Guys, I think we got him.
Oh, this story's going to be a hit.
Shakespeare and Hamlet, please.
Yeah. The rehab thing was a nice touch. All right,
Thanks.
see ya.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Ciao.
Can you believe it?